This video is on solving equations as proportions. We're going to do 3 problems, and I'm going to show you 2 ways to do each of the 3 problems. One way, the way you normally solve an equation, is to cross multiply. So I could cross multiply 2 times n minus 4, which would look like this, and I could cross multiply 6 times n on the other side, which would look like that. Now we have a more normal looking equation. 2 times n is 2n. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Bring down the 6n on the right. And you don't have to write this line right here. I'm just showing you what it looks like. I would just say 2 times n is 2n. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. But this is what I'm doing in my head. Here I have an equation. Both sides are simplified. So step 1 is done. Step 2, get the variable on one side. Now, I have a constant only on one side. When you have a variable on both sides and a constant only on one side, always move the variable away from that lone constant. So I'm going to subtract 2n from both sides. Leaves me with negative 8 equals 6 minus 2 is 4n. One more step to get rid of times 4. You divide both sides by 4. And your answer is n equals negative 2. There's another way to do this. When you have an equation and you have a lot of fractions, whether you had, this is only 2 terms. I got 1 term on the left, 1 on the right. But I could have an equation with 4 terms, a couple on the right and a couple on the left. A trick you could always do is multiply both sides by the least common denominator, which is 6. If I multiply the left side by 6, these 6's cancel out and leave me with n minus 4. And 6 over 2 simplifies to 3 over 1. And 3 times n is 3n. Now, I have a variable on both sides, a constant only on one. So let's move this variable away from this lone constant by subtracting n from both sides. Gives you negative 4 equals 2n. Divide both sides by 2. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. And there's our answer. So that's the first one. We're going to do 3. And I'm going to work all 3 of them 2 ways for you. I kind of like cross multiplying better, but there are other equations where you have more than 1 term on both sides that this way works better. It may not be in this video though. Okay, so I'm going to cross multiply, and I'm going to rewrite it for you one more time. 5 times 5n minus 4 equals 10 times 4, going the other way. 5 times 5n is 25n. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. And 10 times 4 is 40. And again, I wouldn't necessarily write this line right here. I would say 5 times 5n is 25n. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. Both sides are in simplest form. My variable is already on one side, so I'm ready for step 3. Get the variable by itself. We do it in this one by adding 20 to both sides. 40 plus 20 is 60. Divide both sides by 25. N equals, and that's going to go in there 2 times with a remainder of 10 out of 25. 10 out of 25 simplifies to 2/5. Now, if you can't do that in your head, it's long division. It's 60 divided by 25 goes in there 2 times with a remainder of 10 out of 25. And then 10 over 25 simplifies to 2/5. Or you can just use a calculator. If I had multiplied both sides by the least common denominator, which is 10, the 10's cancel out, leave me with 5n minus 4 equals 10 over 5 simplifies to 2 over 1. So I have 2 times 4 on top, which is 8. To get rid of minus 4, we plus 4 to both sides. Gives me 5n equals 12. To get rid of times 5, I divide by 5. 5 goes into 12 2 times with a remainder of 2 out of 5. Our answer is 2 2/5. And let's do one more. This time, we have an algebraic expression in the numerator on both sides. So when I cross multiply, 10 times 2n minus 4, you do not have to write this step that I'm writing. Just helping people visualize what we're doing. 5 times 3n plus 3. When I cross multiply, I distribute this 10, I distribute this 5. I would have looked up here and done it. 10 times 2n is 20n. 10 times negative 4 is negative 40. And going the other way, 5 times 3n is 15n. 5 times 3 is 15. Step 1, simplify. Done. Both sides are in simplest form. Step 2, variable on one side.
Coach May, can you come to the office?
Sorry about that. I want to get the variable on one side. I'm going to put it on the side that results in a positive answer. So I'm going to subtract 15n from both sides. 20n minus 15n is 5n. Bring down my minus 40. Bring down my equal sign. That goes away and leaves me with 15. Now I'm to step 3, get the variable by itself. To get rid of minus 40, I plus 40 to both sides. That leaves me with 5n equals 55. And I'm not going to have room to show it, but divide both sides by 5, and your answer is n equals 11. And if I had multiplied both sides by the least common denominator, which is 10, 10 over 5 simplifies to 2 over 1. 2 times 2n is 4n. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. My 10s cancel out over here and leave me with 3n plus 3. Subtract 3n from both sides. Gives you n minus 8 equals 3. To get rid of minus 8, you plus 8 to both sides. And you get n equals 11. And then there's our video on solving equations as proportions. Thank you.